Okay, 3-1 at the moment in this league, because I 3-1 of these games, but it was against a pretty tough opponent, so it's fair enough, I suppose. The other games are going pretty well, and we're against again a sort of rainbow deck here. Ooh, we can leave with Rana if we want to. Now, Vanarana's a pretty great backup if you don't get Lieben, but I would prefer a Lieben. But also, I haven't really led on a Vanarana in any of these games, so let's see how that works. Because I think this Vanarana is really good. Well, I draw a payment anyway, so I might be doing that instead. We'll see. Paimon is obviously at its best on the first turn. Well, okay. I'm going to keep 2 of these Pyro dice actually. You'll see why. Yeah, so we rolled another 2 Pyro dice anyway, so I didn't need to keep 3. And we still didn't manage to find the total of 3 dice we can use for Electro with Raiden, so fair enough. Now this is a pretty interesting hand compared to some of the others. There are some opportunities here to maybe use the burst on Zhangling. And I don't hate that idea. So this would involve this turn using skill on Raiden, skill on Zhangling, and then 2 dice. We could swap, we could pay Vanarana to carry 1 over, and then next turn burst on Zhangling. Now of course, there's a downside of this, which is I'd not put Paimon, which would make me pretty sad. I think it has to be correct to develop the Paimon. It's an interesting idea behind the reasoning for turn priority here too. Since I could literally just play Paimon, play Vanarana, pass next turn, which usually leads me to turn priority, except opponents passing turn priority extremely early, which is interesting in its own way. So I mean, get my swap out of the way now, since it's basically a free action. And then I have the option to either use the Scuba skill, looking pretty good here, or play the Paimon, which is obviously also excellent. So spoiled for 2 really good choices here. I think I will actually take the slightly rarer route of this. In which case maybe this Paimon doesn't end up getting played, but it's just so good to actually leave this with Pyro on it. It actually does this. It doesn't apply Hydro to their current character, that's fine. Wow, we're getting a Electro dice that I'm not going to use. Okay, I used quick swap, I see. I can push my Zhangling onto my Raiden. Oh wow! Oh, this is fascinating because usually this is not the route you want to go with this deck. But I have a unique opportunity here to use Raiden's Burst. With all these Electro dice, with Calx's Arts in hand, this is going to be the best play. Wow. Now, I mean, Raiden's Burst is very strong, filling up the energy of my other 2 characters, enabling me to fully display Nahida's Burst straight away, perhaps? Seems to be an excellent choice. This will reveal so much damage with all the elements that are already on my opponents, with all of the reactions I'm about to cause. There we go. So usually you want to develop a skill and apply a Cedar Scander first on Nahida. But since I had the opportunity to lethal a character which had 2 energy and do extra damage with all these reactions I'm causing currently, thanks to the passive of the Elemental Burst, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Obviously I'm in a very strong position. Opponent has the opportunity to burst on Kokomi right now, and I can have the option to burst on Jiangling, so I'll definitely keep these Pyro Dice. Wow, look at that. Doesn't get much better than this. With that being said, I'm a bit short on dice to do both the E on Nahida and the ability on Jiangling, unless my Nahida dies somehow. That would actually be good for me. Alright, this is too slow. This is very strong here. Actually, there was a good argument to just using them normally on Nahida, doing a tiny bit less damage, but then having enough to swap to Jiangling and use Jiangling's burst. As it is, I guess we're just going to Nahida it up. We've got our summons that apply Electro and Pyro. So the element we need to apply to keep these reactions going is Dendro. So I guess I don't see any reason to swap characters when this is already doing huge damage. So there's an interesting argument here to using, like, I haven't lost yet, because you can actually transfer the energy into the Vanarana. I'm going to keep it. Maybe I'm just saving it for a rainy day. But at this point, my opponent's literally just dead. So, well, with the Cedar Scander here. So it's not worth overthinking things. Alright, on to the next one.